in Sri Lanka. So I'm with the very cool Ras Ceylon, who is no stranger to Sri Lanka's music scene. I remember in 2012, he came down, he did a bunch of shows, promoted the album, the singles, Heal Lanka, as well as Repatriation Time. And after that, you had like a bunch of other releases. And now here you are after the release of 1999. What's up, my dude?
Man, Ayubuan Vanakum and Assalamu alaikum to you, Yasmin, and all the people of Sri Lanka. My heart and mind has really been on the island a lot lately. I miss it, but I'm with the people, So definitely glad to be talking with you.
Thank you for saying what you did, because right now our island needs a lot more, hope and prayers and all that good stuff coming our way, because it's literally the worst time in the island ever. And right now we're all doing our best to like pull through. So yeah, here's hoping we all get out of this terrible mess
Right.
that
I mean,
powers be created.
No doubt. I mean, that's really what Heal Lanka was about, right? That was the message that we had even way back then, a decade ago. And it is heartbreaking to see many of the things that we kind of talked about in that song, and really the movement that we were working on towards about, peace, unity, reconciliation, and healing ultimately, right? And it's very sad to see where things are. But I have to say, I'm very, very, very proud of the people standing up and unifying and having one voice and being so brave, putting their lives on the line out there, and people like yourselves that make sure that the message is getting out there. We try to do what we can on this side too, to let people know that Sri Lanka is an economic crisis right now and needs all the support it can get. And so, yeah, man, from Ras Ceylon to Mama Lanka, man, for praying always.
Thank you for that. And really, I hope the world gets to know what's going on in Sri Lanka and really tries to, just as one global human body, to like pull us out of this dark place we're in. I guess the world is not going through a good time, but here's hoping that we all can pull each other and see each other through.
Yes, we have so many brave examples, and I really want to say, rise in power and blessings be upon our brother Shiraz, rude boy Lankan, man, that good brethren. When I first touched down in Sri Lanka in 2012, he took me around everywhere, and really put me on stage with him, and to see him singing "Get Up, Stand Up," at Face Green, at the protests, and passing away after that, in many ways, he's a musical martyr. And so I just want to send my blessings to Shiraz Yusuf and his whole family, and Allah be pleased with him. I mean.
Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, and don't give up the fight.
Thank you for that. Yeah, his death was like such a shock to everyone, because I think he passed away at 1 or 2 in the morning. Apparently, he had been performing at a tent where people were protesting, and they were just wanting, because what happens is at Gota Gogama, or GGG as we know it, like a lot of people keep protesting, and there comes a minute where you just need to like recuperate from all that shouting and all that, tension being, flung into the air. And so artists are needed there just to like give a moment of clarity and just to like help you bounce back. And I think that's what he was doing at 1 in the morning. And then all of a sudden, apparently, he had been performing okay, from what I heard.
I've seen the video. I've promoted the video of him performing. It was strong,
Yeah.
His voice sounded good, everything.
Like there wasn't a moment where he seemed like he had trouble. Like apparently, right after he had finished performing, I think he had stood up for a minute and then he had collapsed, and then a few people had been like, oh, maybe that's part of the performance. But then they realized, oh, no, something's very wrong here. So they had rushed him to the hospital. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead.
True.
By the time. So that was very unfortunate, but he died doing what he did best. And like you said, he's a musical martyr for our country, and may his soul truly rest in peace for all the blessings he's given in music and otherwise.
Yes, indeed. And I hope to have a song we're working on in his memory too, that's also, about what's going on in Sri Lanka. So look for that. I'm working on it. I don't want to say too much about it because it's not done yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, like songs of rebellion, songs that speak of Sri Lanka's truth. I feel that's really needed because that's what's really our textbooks in this day and age.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it's going to educate people out there as to what's going on. And I feel like educators like yourself really have that duty upon you guys.
Yeah, even here in the States, during the summer of 2020 when the George Floyd, uprisings and rebellions were happening all over, we were hitting the streets and a lot of times, and even protests even before that summer. Um, that's what we do as artists, is might sing some lyrics, and let the people, kind of have that moment, you know what I mean? And so the music is part of the movement, but it's important to keep it balanced and not just speak about it, but actually put your boots on the ground and do the work as well. And even us in diaspora, I have to be conscious of that too. It's easy for me to say what Sri Lanka should be doing, but if I'm not out there, you know what I mean? It's a certain privilege I have of not even being in the island. And I know I have family members that are suffering right now, and it really is heartbreaking. And we're trying to do all we can, and hopefully even this song 1999, part of the reason why I wanted to put out this song right now is because in many ways it's kind of like a musical autobiography in a sense, and it's something that me and Shiraz used to talk about too, of like, because we're some of the kind of first Sri Lankan rappers, doing it in the 90s. He was in the early 90s and I was in the mid and late 90s out here in America, while he was doing it there on the island, as some of the first people really rapping in English that are Sri Lankan, you know what I mean? And we used to talk about that and stuff. And so I definitely wanted to get it out there. So I hope the people like the song, it resonates with them, and I appreciate you playing it.
It's interesting how you put a pause and went straight to 1999. Was it because you felt like it was time, or was there like a reason,
Yeah.
like a milestone approaching?
Well, the thing about 1999 is that's when I put out my first album, my first cassette tape. It was a cassette tape. It was called, I didn't have the Ras in my name yet, so it was just Ceylon, Ceylon, the first lesson, Ceylon, the first lesson. And that's when, some people consider that, the first album from a hip hop artist in the West of Sri Lankan descent, you know what I mean? So like 1999, it was also the year I graduated high school, you know what I mean? And so the hook, the chorus says, "You don't know who I am if you don't know where I've been since 1999," because basically that's when officially the musical career and legacy started, So it's kind of homage to that.
Come on. You don't know who I am if you don't know where I've been since 1999. That's my shit right there. Check it out. It goes down like this.
Very cool. And you have some interesting things also to say. I mean, truth, obviously, about your song getting stopped from being played on air to, a lot of the other stuff happening, which was very unfortunate.
But all of that makes us stronger, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, all the sacrifices that the people have right now, from the journalists, you know what I mean, to students, shout out to anybody graduating right now, it's imagine going through all this, and surviving through it. So all this stuff, it makes you strong, even though yourself, yes, think about how much you've done to make sure that the island of Sri Lanka understands what the diaspora and how much musical talent exists amongst Sri Lankans, that's you doing that homegrown stuff. So, it's all matters, no one can do everything, but everyone can do something.
I think it's all a perfect circle. Like you put out God-given talent, and I'm here to tell the world about it. So that's what it is. That's how I'll always chalk it up to.
Man, give thanks.
And so you've done one single. And what's next for you in terms of music? Because I know you spoke about your collab with Shiraz, and what else?
Yeah, well, actually, this is the second single I've released this year. The one I dropped earlier, it's called Frontline Generals. That was more of a kind of a boom bap hardcore hip hop song. It actually just made #1 on this chart, the Hip Hop Gods chart, top 20 list. So that we got a video that I shot in New York City. I've been working with a lot of hip hop legends from the Wu-Tang Clan, and man, I got a lot of music. Honestly, as I'm really proud to say, I've made more music in the past few months than I have in the years prior. So I got a lot of stuff coming your way, videos, everything. In fact, there's a new video I think you posted it on Decibel. It's called Build 'Em Up with a Congo Shanti featuring me. Y'all can check that out. It's a video.
Yeah, that was like a very
Five.
different kind of song. I wasn't expecting you to be on it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Yaz, I got some different stuff I'm working on. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? A lot of different genres and even subgenres of hip hop and reggae and, you know, soul music, all kinds of vibes. You know, it's just coming out of me. Like, I'm really thankful, man. I have to say, you know, alhamdulillah, all praise to God, because it really is not like I'm thinking about, oh, I got to make a song like this or a song like that. If the music is just flowing, it's coming out. So I'm just thankful, you know, and just trying to stay productive while I'm still being a full-time educator as well, you know.
Coolest. Is there anything that you want to add in closing?
In closing, I just want to say one Lankan love and solidarity. You know, Sri Lanka, we have a beautiful island of multi-cultures and religions and languages and ethnicities, and we are so beautiful when we all get together. And I have to say, as a Sinhalese American as myself, I need all my Sinhalese people to understand that we can't be on no kind of chauvinism when it comes to our ethnicity. You know what I mean? Like, we have to understand that, as I've always said, decolonize your mind. You know, from the Portuguese to the Dutch and the British, that was 500 years of colonialism, y'all. That did some things to us, right? But we still have the power to overcome that through what? Unity and justice, right? So, man, whatever can happen, I'm all in support of it. Go to Gogama, you know what it is. What's it called? Free 'em all.
Jai Wayman, it was nice talking to you, man.
Always salute, one love.